Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today for this sort of how-to, we have the Photon Collectibles Scylla and Argo that I am repainting for commission. What we're trying to do is go more based off of some of the old concept photos, and also I think the one model I got sent was initially from Dope Pope, which we're basing it off that. So it's going to be sand colors, greens, dark greens for Scylla, and then Argo is mainly just going to be adding some metallic to it, hitting it with some silver for some of the edgings, and coloring the flames. But anyways, I'm just going to let the video play. You guys will see me painting it up on here. For the paints, I used all Liquitex acrylic paints for this guy. And outside of that, I think that's pretty much the gist of everything. So, enjoy watching me paint the figure, and talk to you guys when we're done. Scylla and Argo from Photon Collectibles. Or the, yeah. I know somebody commented down below in the unboxing video how to say the name. I forgot. But anyways, as you can see, paint job turned out really nice. Did the more sand yellow as an undertone, and then dry brush the greens and darker greens over top of it to give it that look like you saw in some of the prototype stuff. It helps also highlight a lot of the details that show up really nicely on this guy. And spend a little bit more time on the back here, just kind of give it a little bit more of a design, sort of like a snail spiral, which you can see over there too. Face turned out really good too. Painted the tentacles fairly pink as per the request, which turned out really good too. And then the eyes are done in a gold color, and then I added a iridescent white to kind of make a pupil to give it a little bit more focused. It does blend in fairly well, which was kind of the point. You have to really look at it to really see where it's looking. But that's kind of just how the one of the pictures I've seen worked. One thing I kind of wish I could have done better as a personal thing is the joints. Just the way that these are set up, the paint's going to rub off them. I tried to seal them as best I could. You can kind of see here, they're a little bit more on there, but it still tends to rub. As you can see, like this one's more akin to how the joints will look after a little bit of play. It still blends pretty nice overall. So it's not a super major deal. I think it works pretty well. But as a just as a kind of review, I think the joints would have been nicer to be a brighter color, or again, kind of match the figure, or at least like kind of what you're going to be painting it anyways. I do understand that it's a kit, but black joints kind of make it hard on like a yellowish anything that isn't a super dark kaiju to begin with. That, and one trick that I usually use to color joints is I dye them, but black's really hard to dye. So it's just kind of the way, if you're going to be painting it, it's kind of the way you're just going to have to roll with it for the most part, at least for my experience. With the few tricks that I know to try to save paint on joints, it just wasn't really working on this guy. But anyways, other than that, pretty pleased with the end results. To be honest, probably could have just left them black anyways. I think it would have worked good. To be honest, maybe could have just darkened up some of the spiky bit sections a little bit more in order to really kind of blend it better together. But I think the way that it looks right now, it still matches pretty well, and then keeps all the articulation. Now with the articulation, I do recommend, because I imagine customers are going to watch this video, but you're going to want to articulate it grabbing close to the base of the joints. I think Jay's his name. So when you're moving it, make sure to grab it right by the joint and then do your adjusting. I'm not too worried about it snapping, but say if you want to like move the leg up and you're like trying to lift it up here, then you might have some breakage problem. Again, here, make sure you just grab towards the base and then you use that for rotating. Same with here, you grab at the base. Like this joint's a little bit stiffer, and then do all your rotating here as well. But for the most part, it's already sealed up, so all this paint's going to stay on very well. Just again, just expect the joints to the paint to kind of rub off of the joints over time. But again, I don't think the way, at least I tried to paint it, it won't make a super big difference if it does rub off. And then for the Argo, this one's actually super simple to paint. Nice thing was, is since it was already done in a black resin, for the most part, because it's supposed to be black to begin with, all I really did was just dry brushed I have a graphite color. It's like iridescent graphite, and brushed that over top of it, and that gave it this kind of metallic shine to it, but didn't really take away from the coloring too much. And then just hit it with some silvers along the edges here to really make them pop better and kind of make it look like it's a little bit more battle worn. And then add a little bit more black paint around the lights, the windows here, and try to hit some of the panel lining a little bit harder. And then for the back here, filled in the paint so it has the jets. So when you have it on your shelf, it looks like it's flying. And that's pretty much it. Let the stands alone. And super pleased with the end results. And these guys will be shipping out here in the near future. But anyways, help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe to Carbon Ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, and Facebook. Guys, like to keep up to date with channel donate. We greatly appreciate it. Also, this video will come out beforehand, so I can bring it up here. But we will have our own little vehicle. Not this one in particular, but our own vehicle that we will have for sale in the near future. An actual Geek Chest figure. But anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.